This screencast is going to show you how to open a discussion board, open one of the forum questions, and create a thread so that you can answer the question. So I'm currently at the introduction and course structure. And I'm going to come down here to discussion board. When I click on discussion board, you can see there are quite a few forums that are already posted, that are already up there for you to answer. I'm going to choose the Google Apps for Education intro. Let me make sure. Okay. I'm going to choose the Google Apps for Education intro. So you simply click on the name of Google Apps for Education intro, and you're going to click on Create Thread. When you get to the Create Thread screen, if you'll notice there are a few options here. You can cancel this at any time. If you're in the middle of creating this, you can save as a draft, and that's where you're going to go to submit. Those three buttons are also located in the bottom right corner of your screen. The first thing that the thread is going to ask you is to create a subject for the thread. I usually like to make the subject applicable to the forum that I'm in. So I'm going to say Google Apps Introduction. And I think I'm just going to say Google Apps Introduction. So that's my subject. Underneath my subject, you will notice there's a box that says Message. Below the message word are 3 toolbars. Now, before I even get into the toolbars, on the right-hand side, there are 4 icons. The first icon, if I just mouse over it, tells me that's a preview. The second icon is the help, which you can go and get help on how to work this message board, this particular part of the message board. This is a full screen icon, and over here is the Show Less. Now watch what happens to my toolbars when I click Show Less. So if you come into this message board and this is all you see, which was what I saw, if you click on this, you will see all 3 toolbars. And so it's imperative that you make sure all 3 toolbars are visible. Underneath the toolbars will be a box for you to type your message in. But before we get to the message part of this, if you just take a minute and familiarize yourself with each one of these buttons, if you mouse over, just hover your mouse over the icon, you will get a description of what the button's for. So obviously this first button is for bold. This is for italic, underline, strike through. If you want to change the font, there's your different fonts. Here's your font sizes. This is if you want to use a bulleted list. This over here is a numbered list. Your text color, a highlight. If you want to remove formatting, I think this is cut, copy, paste, find. This is your align left, center, right, and justify. That's if you want to do an indent, and so on and so forth. I'm not going to go through each one of these, but you can see. Simply typing text in this box, and if I come down here and hit submit, will post. Now if you noticed on the post, I've created a thread. Now if I come back to my discussion board, and if I go to Google Apps for Introduction, there is my post. Now suppose you want to go in and see what someone else has said. If you click on this post, you'll be able to read something. Simply typing text in this box. If you wanted to reply to this person, you're going to click on reply and type your reply in the message box and hit submit. Now when I go back to the discussion board and click on the Google Apps for Introduction forum, I am going to see, well, let me go back to that for a minute to show you something. You don't see this, but I see this. Google Apps for Introduction, there are 2 posts. So if I click over here, I click on the Google Apps for Introduction thread that was created, and I can see Barbara Moore put a thread in. I don't really see the reply underneath it because I'm the same user. However, if another user replied to that, I would see the two replies underneath that. I believe you would too. I hope this clarifies how to create a thread on the discussion board, because there's a discussion board question in almost every module. I hope this helps.